Deep in the Aegean Sea, where sunlight pierces the blue water like golden spears, a story began in the year 1900. A small crew of Greek sponge divers, men weathered by salt and storms, were searching for new grounds. Their old spots had grown dangerous, and some whispered it was the sea gods themselves pushing them onward. As their boat drifted near the remote island of Antikythera, none of them knew they were about to stumble upon the discovery of a lifetime. The sea was strangely calm that morning. The wind was a soft whisper. The first diver descended into the quiet depths, expecting nothing more than sand and rock. But he shot back to the surface screaming, his voice a raw mix of terror and disbelief. The crew thought he'd gone mad from the pressure, a common diver's affliction. But as he scrambled aboard, shaking, he gasped out something impossible. There are statues down there. Bodies, bronze bodies everywhere. Hesitantly, more divers followed him down. What they found wasn't a watery grave, but something far more astonishing. A sunken Roman-era shipwreck, one of the richest ever discovered. Marble statues of heroes, gleaming bronze figures, brilliant jewelry, and ancient pottery lay scattered across the seabed, all veiled in a 2,000-year-old blanket of marine life. It was a treasure trove from a lost world. But among all these priceless artifacts, there was one object that nobody cared about. It was a strange, corroded lump of bronze and wood, twisted and broken. It looked worthless, lacking the shine of the statues or the artistry of the jewelry. It was just a piece of junk, destined to be forgotten. That worthless lump, however, would later become known as the Antikythera Mechanism, the oldest and most advanced mechanical computer ever found. From the ancient world, an object that would completely rewrite our understanding of history. When the artifact was first brought to the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, it was tossed in a corner and ignored for months. To the curators, it was just another encrusted piece of bronze. But then, a crack appeared in its outer shell, revealing something that defied belief: gears. Dozens of interlocking gears, arranged with perfect mathematical precision. This single glimpse sent a shockwave through the world of history and archaeology. Gears this complex weren't supposed to exist for another 1,500 years. The first person to truly grasp its significance was a brilliant physicist named Derek de Sala Price. As he painstakingly examined the broken fragments, he began to see a pattern. He realized the gears weren't random. They followed astronomical cycles, the phases of the moon, the movement of the sun, and perhaps even the paths of the planets. His idea was revolutionary, and to many scholars, it was absurd. An analog computer from ancient Greece? Impossible, they scoffed. But Price was certain. He argued this was not a toy or a simple navigational tool. It was a fully functional calculating machine, a piece of technology far beyond anything anyone thought the ancient world was capable of. Decades later, advanced X-ray scanning technology proved him right. Inside the corroded fragments, scientists found at least 30 bronze gears, some with over 200 tiny, hand-cut teeth. They were all masterfully arranged to track the heavens with astonishing accuracy. This device could predict eclipses, chart the movements of the sun and moon, and even forecast astronomical events far into the future. It was a mechanical cosmos in a box. This single object simply should not have existed in its time. And yet, here it was. The discovery left a monumental question hanging in the air. Who built it? Who possessed this incredible knowledge? Some scholars theorize it came from the legendary workshop of Archimedes, the genius inventor of Syracuse. Others argue it was the creation of an unknown master, a mind so brilliant that their work vanished from history with the fall of civilizations. We may never know the name, but one thing is certain. The creator was a master of astronomy, mathematics, and engineering, centuries ahead of their time. Their work rivaled designs from the Renaissance, but it was forged 2,000 years ago. The Antikythera Mechanism forces us to tear up the old pages of our history books. It proves the ancient world was far more sophisticated than we ever imagined, and the story only gets deeper from here. Let's travel back in time. Imagine the workshop where this marvel was born. The air is thick with the dust of polished bronze. In the center of it all, a quiet genius bends over a bronze disc, meticulously carving each gear tooth with unwavering precision. They aren't just making a machine. They are trying to capture the entire universe in metal. The ancient Greeks knew the sky was a predictable clockwork, but this craftsman did something revolutionary. They translated those cosmic cycles into a physical, mechanical system. The mechanism had dials for the zodiac, pointers for celestial events, and even a special display for lunar anomalies, modeled on a complex mathematical pattern called the Metonic cycle. This wasn't just engineering. It was philosophy, science, and a deep reverence for the cosmos, all forged into one device. Then disaster struck. The mechanism was loaded onto a Roman ship, which sank in a storm. For nearly 2,000 years, it slept in the silent, crushing dark of the deep sea. Above the waves, empires rose and fell. The Library of Alexandria, a treasure house of ancient knowledge, burned to the ground. Cities were sacked and civilizations collapsed. So much knowledge was forgotten, slipping through the cracks of history. And yet, through a sheer accident of fate, the mechanism survived, preserved by the sea. When modern X-ray tomography peered inside the fragments, researchers made another breathtaking discovery. Faint inscriptions written in ancient Greek. They were an instruction manual, detailed notes explaining how each dial and gear functioned. This proved the device wasn't a secret tool for an elite few. It was meant to be used, studied, and understood. It was, in essence, a textbook made of bronze, a machine designed to teach the structure of the cosmos to others. This changed everything. Suddenly, we had undeniable proof that the ancient Greeks not only understood complex astronomical mechanics, but they could also translate that knowledge into sophisticated technology. This leads to the most haunting mystery of all. Why has nothing else like this ever been found? Why is the Antikythera Mechanism a lone survivor? Historians believe it was part of a tradition of advanced mechanical engineering that simply vanished. It was lost to the chaos of wars, devastating fires, and the slow decay of empires. When the Roman Empire fragmented, the practical needs of survival and warfare overshadowed the pursuit of complex science. Knowledge that wasn't immediately useful was simply not passed on. And yet, one device survived. A single, beautiful machine, trapped in a shipwreck, protected by its underwater tomb. Today, engineers and historians are attempting to reconstruct the mechanism using only ancient techniques. Every recreation reveals new layers of its brilliance. The gears were cut with microscopic accuracy. The layout required profound mathematical planning, and the entire design was integrated with the precision of a modern Swiss watch. And all of this was achieved centuries before the first mechanical clocks appeared in Europe. The final truth of the Antikythera Mechanism is both simple and staggering. It shouldn't exist, but it does. It is a testament to a level of scientific genius that we are only now beginning to fully appreciate. It forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about what other knowledge, what other wonders were lost to time. And it reminds us that history is not a simple, straight line of progress. Knowledge can advance, retreat, and re-emerge in the most unexpected ways. The mechanism is more than just a machine. It's a whisper from a forgotten past, a message from minds that saw the universe with incredible clarity. It is a powerful reminder that genius belongs to no single era, and it leaves us with the thrilling possibility that somewhere, buried in the ruins of the ancient world, there are still more secrets waiting to be found.